Shooting, we might mess up.
Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Echoes. Yes. We're filming from an inferior setup because, as you can see, we're using every camera in the office. We've got overhead camera, we've got Tessa's camera, Cody's computer's involved. So we're doing our gameplay video right now. But we noticed we are getting up there in our funding. So we decided to check in with you guys and, say hi before we go.
Hi, backers. Thank you so much for joining us here. We just thought it would be fun for you to get a behind-the-scenes look at what we're doing. So this wasn't really planned. David just thought, I'll turn my computer on. So, okay, go for it. So thanks for joining us. Just because we might accidentally talk about something we shouldn't talk about, spoiler-wise, while we're recording, we're just going to mute it. So you can hang out in the chat. If nothing, we're not going to reveal anything. We just thought it would be fun for you guys to join us if you want. So have us on in the background, turn on some music, you can watch us. So we're going to go ahead and mute the audio, and then we're going to try and shoot the video so you can watch us do bloopers and all that. Slip on the field.
Someone trip over a cord.
Yeah. Bring in the stunt doubles. So. Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay.
Jason Rodney. I think that he was one of our winners.
Oh, hey. You guys hit me top right of the keyboard.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Cody, but I don't know how we're going to get a whole box of matches in the game when we ship it. That just seems unrealistic. Oh, sorry. It's unmuted. Oh my gosh.
And Tess gets a Lamborghini as a stretch. Oh, really nice. I'm glad I wore my nice.
Yeah, no kidding. Mine is just have my feet up there. That's the whole other part of it.
That's about as good as I can get the shot, I think.
We can rotate the table if it's crooked. What do you think? Does your
I don't know. I mean, I feel like at this point, let's just shoot it so that we have it done. And I mean, we're not going to look as pro as the pros. Obviously, everything's got tape. And now there's hair on here.
It's like a dog hair. Yeah.
There's
You
dog hair.
cannot see it.
I swear, these dogs shed so much.
I know. I vacuum whenever I like stay here, and then the next day it's like, oh my gosh.
Abby vacuums
That's
like
why I'm like
3 times a day.
Now, whenever I stay here, I just do it one time, 5 minutes before I leave. It's the only time I clean it.
Yeah. Okay, I like the shot. Everything looks really well laid out. Those are out of the shot.
Yeah,
That's out of the shot. It's countdown time, so 7. Are we really that close? Oh my gosh.
No, it's more than that.
Jeez. I cannot believe how fast it's going. I know, but okay.
Yeah, let's shoot the thing.
I'm pretty Miller. I can remember my name. I will try to remember my name.
9.8K. They said they're glad we're not pros.
You're glad we're not professionals, yeah. Right. I didn't even do my makeup.
I don't know if the pros have it that much more together, to be honest.
Are you kidding? Did you see Mark's video?
No, I saw his video.
That he
The
showed
guy's
me.
clearly got like a tractor on his camera on and stuff.
We,
But like,
we FaceTimed afterward, and he showed me his studio. It looks like he's got like I don't know, an arcade and like.
all I'm saying is, I bet they also have masking tape close by. That's all I'm saying.
Don't besmirch.
I'm not going to. It was an amazing shot. Like the rolling through these.
This looks really good. We know that it's recording. I found out where it goes. OBS studio. Studio mode.
I woke up at 4 a.m. to check it, and I was like, dang, I was too early.
I did too.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It's so. Whew. Okay, are you guys ready? Yes. Are you ready to record?
Mhm.
I'm ready to read. So we'll just try and do this in sort of one take. I guess the people watching will be like, I already saw this, but
They're getting an angle of the shot that no one's ever going to see again.
ever.
It's just going to disappear.
It's not recorded, right? We're not.
I don't know if we'll do live streams. I think we can post live streams after the fact.
Great. They'll see me up on the table.
OSHA.
Here we go. OSHA.
Look away.
What were you doing? Okay, I'm starting to record here. Plus it started to record. Now I'm having anxiety. Okay. Is it a good shot? You can like 3, 2 on us or
David, maybe switch spots.
not good.
Okay. I'm just doing what I'm doing. What you do.
Do I look natural? Okay. Hi, I'm gonna try again. I feel like I yelled. Hi, 1, 2. Hi, I am Cody Miller. I'm the designer of Iridia, the paths we dare tread. And today I'm joined with David Furno, our lead playtester and assistant extraordinaire. And we're going to do a playthrough video of the tutorial for Iridia. And before we get going, I just want to let you know all the components are prototypes. Some of these we hand cut just moments ago. So everything's subject to change. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. So the first thing is you're going to set up all the components. So you can see that we've already laid them out. And the game comes with a tutorial booklet that will sort of ramp you up through gameplay. So we're going to go ahead and go through that. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw event 0. So we're going to go into our index, and from the active deck side, we're going to pull out event 0. So behind the event tab, there's event 0. We're going to pull it out, and we're going to read it out loud. So I'm going to go ahead. Here we go. The paths we dare tread, the words echo in your mind. You blink back sleep as dawn pours into your threadbare tent. Exile isn't nearly as romantic as it sounds. Today is the great thaw. The hunt should start soon. With a little luck, your training will pay off and you'll be home before harvest. The last 2 weeks have been grueling, but your mind and body have begun to toughen. As you prepare for the day, you think about the path you've chosen. I'm thinking just now about our audio. I think we'll probably have to cut just for a second. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
We'll have to do that again because I was gonna have our mic set up. But let me just check how the audio is on this. So I'm gonna stop recording. If it's okay, we can do it again. Sorry. Sorry, everybody. Take 2.
9.5,
Okay,
9.3.
do you want to mute that so that? A 30-second delay.
Everything would have to be a
It's a good thing we stopped
my
because
goodness.
we realized the entire audio was getting
Thank you,
doubled
guys.
inside the
That was
computer.
so bad.
That's good.
Okay. All right. So set the mic here.
Give us all the spoilers. Yes, we're going to be talking through the intro to the game. So if you do not want to see that, you might want to shut your volume off. That
Feel
would
free
be a
to
good
shut your volume
idea.
off.
Spoiler warning, just for the introduction of the game.
Yep, this is the tutorial. We're gonna play through the tutorial.
8.9 every like 5 seconds.
Trying to think. I don't know where else we can plug in.
What about just right behind you? Is that not, oh, plug
There's
in.
a extender here, David, that plugs into that, I think.
Okay.
Will you get?
Yeah. Okay.
When you're reading that card, do you want the card going, or do you want, you, or what?
I can put the card up. I will put the card up on the screen. So you can just keep rolling on me. I don't know.
I'll
Which would
just
be better.
let the players do it.
No, I want this coming up through the middle on the floor.
Yeah.
So that can we step over it?
Yeah, if you plug it in, there's enough slack.
I just mean contest step by.
Yeah, I'll take it down stuff. You can do it all.
Oh, gosh.
What?
Batteries. Slowly.
On your computer?
Oh,
Can't we
No,
if we plug into this, here, try that. Does this do anything? You plug it into the front of the wall.
But I have to walk around.
Well, if so, we can get you on a mobile.
I do.
I have a battery pack we can plug in if it does work.
Well, that battery's charging. I'm gonna switch that one out.
Okay. Is it the gimbal or is it the
No, it's the
camera? Oh, it's the camera. Hang on,
His
don't
bright
drop the
sleeves.
camera.
Oh, thank goodness.
Don't drop the camera.
Someone did tell me, and it was you, Cameron. Thank you so
happened?
much. Someone said, make sure that
Is
David
that
hears
turning it
this.
or not? This is turning? No, if I turn this in, is it turning? Yeah, that didn't do anything.
50 bases away.
Do we not have any other camera builders? Bum, 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 bum. Da, 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 da. Time for the 18.
Breakdown.
Tess, you had one
That would be
job.
good. Yes. All these comments are great.
Okay. Audio input capture should be what? Audio output capture. That we don't want to capture. No, that's what I was doing last time. Audio input settings. Where is it? Properties. Microphone, pro webcam. No, I want the APR USB microphone. Yeah. Okay. Check. Click it on. Hello, testing. Check. Hello, thank you so much for listening. All right, and then, okay, I think that's good. We'll just have the mic here. I don't know what else to do with it.
Why not put a little bit on the corner or something?
Gotcha. Put it here. Yeah.
I
I don't know how well it's gonna hear. Check. Hello. Hi. Hey. Check. It's only hitting like halfway there, so like it's gonna be really muted. It's like this is the kind of mic.
Interesting idea.
I do talk pretty loud. Thank you.
And have your face in an NPC.
Okay.
That would be quite
I feel like it should
interesting.
be like here.
Okay.
That's going to be our best audio. If I sort of stand here, check. The paths we dare tread. Okay.
The red bear tent.
Threadbare tent.
Lights.
Yeah. So, real minor spoilers for this is just the tutorial. So we're not going to get into anything beyond this. So yeah, but if you don't want to know anything, you want to go in totally blind, feel free to just mute it. It's free. We don't charge for mute. All right. Ira is texting me. Update draft. Oh, sweet. Cool. Good work, Ira. Okay. Check. Can you hit start recording, David? And don't record yet. I just want to check the audio levels. Hi, my name is Cody Miller. Hello, I like games. And then you can hit stop recording. It'll say, are you sure? Yes. Okay. No.
Did you select your audio input on the program? Is that something that needed to be manually changed?
That's what I thought I needed the right thing, but
We just run the audio that we
desktop
have
audio.
from the video. We just play that music in the
Okay,
office
okay,
all day
okay.
long,
So it
actually.
isn't like that.
Just
That was the wrong thing.
on
Okay,
loop all
start
day.
streaming. Okay, this start streaming. No, start recording. Don't hit the wrong button. Check. Hi, I'm Cody Miller. Class is recording me, and this is lots of fun. I hope the audio works. Stop recording. Check this one. What is up there? There's no audio?
Did you mute anything
No, maybe I.
when you were doing the YouTube thing?
Why isn't the audio working? Oh. Did we? That's why. Our output is set to the wrong thing.
Ah, there you go. So pump up the gain.
It's so quiet. Dylan, you bought me this microphone. Why is it so quiet?
Dylan, hear us from the chat.
I guess we'll just use the upper audio. That's probably going to be better. I mean, it's so quiet. I get it, or we can use it.
You
as
could hold it like a
double.
microphone. That'd be too
I
much.
wonder if I take this off. That would help unmute some. Okay, sorry, Tess. We'll start recording at 8. 2.5 hours later.
12 hours later.
Start recording. All right, now we're going to check the audio. Did this change at all? Hi, I'm Cody Miller. I hope that you like audio.
Games. There's not a game in here that you can turn up, is there?
Yes, I've got it almost
Maxed.
maxed.
Okay, that's not good.
Check, check. Yeah, I'm checking the open sound settings. Well, it's because that's a mic that you're like supposed to be super close with. So I feel like maybe
A clamped microphone is exactly what we need. That would be great.
if you've got one, just
It's
bring it over.
Just
Thanks.
ship it to us in the
Okay.
next 5 minutes, and that will
I
help.
could use my Oculus Rift.
Oh, there you go. Is that
It's got a microphone.
just wear the headset. There you go.
What do you think, guys? We'll do the video just like this.
Do you think that'll be
The
noticeable?
audio will be awesome. Okay. Well, I think I'm just going to check the overhead.
Pretty t-shirt would be awesome. Large graphic on the back. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
I was gonna say Off Games
Off Games merch would be a pretty cool stretch goal.
Don't promise anything, guys.
We're just talking to the chat.
Soon as
It's
you
just
say it, they're gonna want.
it's just the chat and Tess and I. There's nothing with Cody happening.
You guys can promise anything. You want, I guess. Probably into HD Chrome. Yeah. Check. All right. The audio on this one is way higher. Whoa. Why is it wobbling?
Sorry, I touched something. I thought it was in the shot. My bad. It's fine. It'll steady.
Just steady.
It'll steady.
Check. We're checking the audio one more time. Hi, I'm Cody Miller. We can get this mic out here. And there we go. You guys can look at the mic. Check. Let me know if you see what's wrong with it. All right. And stop this recording. It'll probably sound a lot better if we don't have double audio.
That probably.
We're taking the audio one more time. Hi, I'm Cody Miller. Oh, you guys can look at the mic. Check. Let me know if you see what's wrong with it. All right. And stop this recording.
We need some sound.
It's fine. Yeah,
yeah.
It sounds a little wonky.
If we could put like a soundboard there.
I wonder if we combine them. Okay, so we will keep this mic after all, and I will just set up a audio only recording separate from the video recording, and then I can splice them at the end. Yeah.
Fix it in post. That's what I said.
Yeah.
It's my running joke is we fix everything in post and then we don't actually fix it in post. Cody fixes a lot in post.
Yes. Like that.
Guys, Tom Miller says borrow one from CVC. That's a good idea. We might need to, but try and make it work now.
This will be fine.
It's
So
acceptance.
good.
It's fine.
We'll have this recording. I
This
just want to see which. There's no
is the
settings
best
in
job
voice recording.
I've ever done. And compared to riding on the ambulance and staying
Hey,
up
whoa.
for 24 hours.
We do not condone throwing Pac West under the bus.
I was just saying, it's really, really cool.
Okay. So we'll have.
And I also didn't say the name.
Oh,
You said the name.
Shoot.
No.
This is why I can't be live.
If you're not familiar with private ambulance companies, it's just like all the rest.
It's amazing. They're saying so many lives.
It's a good job too.
I'm going to delete all these because they're useless.
Much friendlier here.
Where is audio recording? Audio. Just the voice recorder out.
8K.
Check. Is it taking from here? I feel like it's not.
Do you guys think anyone's waiting to be like the backer that pushes us over? Like there's like 10 people maybe just like waiting. They're like looking at it. They're like
jockeying for position.
They're like waiting for that
Yeah.
last pledge, and so it's gonna go right. It's gonna go right from like 7:19 to like 7:50 in like 2 seconds. I am a paramedic working on the coast of Oregon here, and I work part-time, and we run EMT paramedic ambulances, which is private here. Most of the fire departments on the coast are volunteer. So Lots of small towns.
Now let's try.
Wanted to be Becker one and filled it. Oh, so close.
Let's see.
It was fast. That first like 30 seconds was nutty. 28 is still pretty good.
Check, check, check. Is this recording? Okay, that's the right one. Okay. All right. Are we ready to try again, everybody?
Yeah.
That's good. OBS Studio is good. Audio input capture. Hang on, let me double check that we've got the right one. Copy. Pro webcam for this. And then we've got audio, straight audio coming from this. And then you've got that video. We've got the overhead video. Okay. I feel good. I feel good. I'm not stressed out trying to record. You know what we should do? Let's do this live.
You know what? I think we should flip the room around. I think that would help.
Let's reorganize everything. Okay, I'm starting recording here. And starting the voice recording here. Everything's recording. If I have this, okay. And then test, you're starting recording now. Okay. Hi, I'm Cody Miller. I'm the designer of Iridia, As We Dare Tread. I'm joined by David Furno, our lead playtester, and today we're going to go through the tutorial for Iridia. So before we get to that, I just want to mention everything seen today is prototypes. We handmade some things just before the video started, so it does not reflect the final production quality. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and dive in. So the first thing that we're going to do in the tutorial is to draw event 000. So we're going to go to the index, to the active deck, and we're going to draw the first event in there, event 000. And you can see by this blue text box, we've got narration text. And so I'm going to go ahead and read that out to you. So, dawn. The paths we dare tread, the words echo in your mind. You blink back sleep as dawn pours into your threadbare tent. Exile isn't nearly as romantic as it sounds. Today is the great thaw. The hunt should start soon. With a little luck, your training will pay off and you'll be home before harvest. The last 2 weeks have been grueling, but your mind and body have begun to toughen. As you prepare for the day, you think about the path that you've chosen. And now we get to some rules text. Each player now chooses a path and follows the instructions inside to create their character. Once each player has finished, we'll flip the card over. And I'm going to try and put an overlay, so you should be able to see this card nice and clear. All right, so David, if you want to grab your path, I'll get mine. So I've chosen to play as the warrior, and we've sort of preset these up so that the video doesn't take a super long time. We should maybe switch. Okay. If you want to be on that side, I do it. Perfect. Thank you, David. Sweet. All right, so for our path, you just slide them out of their tuck boxes and set them up. And for this video, let's see, for space, we'll sort of set these out here and there. That looks great. This is going to be an amazing video.
Great.
Maybe we'll just fast forward this part. Scoot the mic out of the way. Sure, that's probably bumping a little bit. Okay. And I'm going to get my cards out. I think probably for this part of the video, we'll just I can fast forward some. So everybody's setting up. These are my action tokens. There's a spot for my die right here. I'm going to set it on the 20 side up. So that way all the bad rolls sink to the bottom. It's
Smart thinking.
It's science.
Very smart thinking.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to put my markers here. These are for marking different things. I'm going to set one on my dwarf's hardy skill. I today am playing as Rix, the silent dwarf ruffian. This one goes on the shield. And these go here and here and here. It's really hard to talk and think about what you're doing. So this is probably why people have these things set up and they cut this kind of stuff out. Huh?
Don't worry, we'll fix it in post.
Fix it in post. I think we'll probably just speed through it for the gameplay video because people don't really want to see this part of it. So we should set these. That's okay there. It's a little distracting. I wonder if I should take these off of there. We'll get everything set up how we want, and then go. I'll just set these back here. Okay, it's just easier if we take it in one take for editing. So I got my markers. Your character's all set up. Great. We're done. David. Yeah, we're doing it.
We're doing it.
Okay.
Chosen.
All right. So, and let's see. Here we go. All right. So I've chosen the path of valor, and I am playing as a dwarf. The dwarf has a certain set of starting attributes and stats. So I've set those up in my character board, matching here and here. So, and David has done the same with his elf character. David, who are you playing as today?
Today I'm going to be Thylia, the skittish elf drifter.
All right. So that is this part completed here on our event. And so now we're going to flip the event over, as the card says, and we're going to keep reading our text. So each year, emissaries are dispatched throughout Iridia, distributing useless wood coins to the local inhabitants. These coins, called squills, hold no value, but they are the only way for the banished to receive a pardon. Exiles must prove their worth, collect the most squills by harvest, and you can return home. You won't be alone in the hunt. Other exiles will be competing for pardons as well. The laws stipulate exiles may band together in parties no larger than 4 members, pooling resources to gain a group pardon. You think it's time to size up the competition and maybe find some allies. All right, and now this card tells us to flip hex E2. So David, if you want to flip that, he's going to pop it and flip it, and he's going to place the party token on it. And now it says to draw big 0. So on this hexagon, it says big 0. That's one of the places we can visit on this hexagon. And so we're going to go to the big box here and pull out big 0. Wow, it's the first one.
Who organized that? So
all right, so big 0. Wow, it's got some artwork on it. Thank you, David. So you can see this here, and I'll go ahead and read it. So it says, exiles camp, threadbare tents stand here, flaps swaying lightly in the breeze. As you draw near, the din of the camp washes over you. Voices buzz in excitement, swords clang in practice. And as you approach, a mustached man beckons you. Some of the maps in the game have artwork on them, kind of like a cutscene. So it's not everyone for sure. It's sort of spaced out along the campaign. So that's what the artwork is. And now we take this and we're going to flip it over, and we can place it face up here in the center, and we've got all this beautiful artwork. Wow. Since we are entering from hex E2, we are going to place our miniatures here adjacent to E2, the pointer. Let me grab my miniature over there. I left him. Rix, the dwarf. There we are, dwarf and elf. Who would think that we'd be friends? All right. So on this map, there is an event. So we're going to take an event token and place it on there. And for David. And we can also see that there's an NPC here. So because we're following the tutorial, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go and talk to this NPC. So over, I'm going to move here, and David can move here. And we're going to talk about, I guess we should probably talk about adventure mode first. So right now, when we're out of combat, the game is in adventure mode. In adventure mode, it's sort of a free-flowing mode that allows you to take turns without like organically, yeah. And so you can move around the map without counting steps. You do have to path correctly, so you can't like go through walls that you shouldn't. But it's more freeform, allowing you to explore sort of at your own pace. And it's I feel like that's okay. So in adventure mode, we're going to start by talking to this NPC. So this NPC is NPC 0. So I'm going to go back to the index, and I'm going to find NPC 0. There we go. All right. So in the top right, you can see the name of the NPC and we give you a couple role-playing, sorry, I'm losing my
Prompts.
Role-playing prompts. If you want to role-play him, here's some information for you. So he's a half elven man. You can see there's a typo there that everybody's pointed out. Thank you. That's what happens when you type up cards,
Which is great.
11:30 at night.
Totally.
His demeanor is gruff. He's rubbing his hands. You can choose to role-play that if you're on that form. So in Iridia, one person will take an action. So I would say, I'm going to talk to this NPC, and then the player on my left would assume the role of the guide. So David is going to be the player on the left, and he's going to act as this character for us. And so you can go ahead and read through that.
Yes. Thades, the guild leader, a weather-beaten man, stands here, warming his hands by the fire. After all that training, the day has arrived. Time to get out there and do the guild proud. If you want a little warm-up before you go hunting squills, you can fight the practice dummy one more time. Let me know when you're ready to leave.
Awesome. So on the card, you can see, I'll pull it up in the video. You can see that at this point, there are different options that me, as the player, could choose. So depending on how your group wants to do it, you can role play. So I could stay in character as Rix, the silent dwarf, and I could say, I guess it's hard if I'm silent. But I can say, tell me about that practice dummy. I want to fight him again. And then David could respond in kind. There's also, you'll see at the bottom of the card, there's a prompt. So if David wanted to fully stay in character, he could guide me back to one of the actual options by giving me sort of the generic answer of like, I don't really know what's going on. You can see the actual text there. So for this, we're going to just skip to the practice dummy. So tell me about the practice dummy. If you don't want to role play, you can say, David would read me the options. You can say, here are your options. You can choose guild, practice dummy, or leave. And then it would be up to me to go, let's do guild. And then he would go ahead and read that for us. So
As much or as little as you like.
yeah, so practice dummy.
The practice dummy. I was working on a more powerful dummy, one that would really challenge you, but it's gone missing. Anyway, the old one still works fine. When you're ready, head up to the field. I'll get you going.
Sounds good. Okay, so we'll set Thades aside for now. We'll come back to him later. And the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to experience an event. So again, this is the tutorial. And so we're step by step telling you what to do. The actual game, once you get like past the tutorial, freeform. It's freeform. When you explore a location, you're going to explore it for real. You don't have to follow any set path, right? It's wherever you want to go, however you want to attack a situation. It's up to you. So for this, we're just going through step by step. So next, we're going to experience an event. So David, why don't you go ahead and
I would like to experience this event.
all right. This is
Would you like to come with me? Would you like your character to come with me?
I would like my character to hide behind that tent, actually, while you're doing that.
Okay, you're gonna stand right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sharpen my wood sword. All right. Here we go. So this says around the camp. So I asked him where he got the fish. A small crowd erupts with laughter as you draw near. A tall man with long blonde hair is at the center of attention. He eyes you cautiously as you approach. We don't often see new faces. Where did you hail from?
I come from the great tree on the Southern Isle.
Ah, yes, I should have guessed by the smell. More laughter. The man slaps his companion on the back, and they saunter off, chortling. The crowd begins to disperse. Exiles mill about, tightening packs, sharpening swords, and preparing for the day ahead. And this card tells us to gain one experience and then banish this card. So David's going to give us experience. When you gain experience in this game, because it's a cooperative game, everybody in the party gains experience. So we place it into our player sheet. Yay, we each got an experience. And then we're going to banish this card. Banished cards you won't need again for the rest of the campaign. If this was a normal legacy game, you would tear it up. If you want to play it if you want to do it as a legacy game, just go for it. Rip them up. Don't do that. Please don't. Please don't. We want it to be fully resettable. Okay, and now the event's done. We should have removed the event token.
As we did.
Fine.
Yep.
Got it. Okay, next up, we're going to explore. So we're going to look on the map, and you can see at the top of the map here, it says medium 0. And so I'm going to go ahead and take the explore action by moving adjacent to it or on it. And David, I would like to go with you. Sure, let's do it. So now we're going to go to the medium deck and find medium 0. What do you know? Medium 0 is right on top. David, once
Almost
again.
like they're organized numerically.
That would be crazy. All right, practice field. You see a small clearing where the ground has been worked by exiles practicing all forms of combat. All right, you're next. You walk over and take your place. Sage starts the practice dummy. It wheels out from around the pond and begins to wobble towards you. And now there's some rules text. It says start this combat on any space adjacent to starting point X. So now we're going to flip this over, and there's a pointer on it that says big 0. So you can see we are on map big 0. And so we're just going to line those pointers up, big 0 to medium 0, and ta-da! Now we have the map. You can see how it, the art is all continuous. Philip has done an amazing job.
So good.
Hand painting all the art. It's so cool. So there's starting point X we can see. So we're going to go ahead and we can start adjacent to starting point X anywhere. I'll let you pick. And also, now we can see that there's a monster revealed on this map. So at this point, we're going to go into combat mode. So David, if you want to flip that over. And the monster pointer here says monster 0. So I'm going to go back to the index again, and I'm going to draw out monster 0. And when I'm drawing monster 0 out, I don't know if you can see, this says 1 of 2. So I'm going to keep drawing. 2 of 2, now I've got both the monster 0 cards. All right. So on the face of them, and I'll put these up so that you can see them as I go over them. On the face of these cards, you can see it tells us a little bit about the practice dummy. It gives us the artwork for it, and it tells us what kind of monster it is. This is a mob. And so there are 2 kinds of monsters, mobs and bosses. This is a mob. And it also tells us what level it is and which miniature to grab. So this says grab 1x of figure 0. So at this point, we would go to the monster box, which has a bunch of doors on them labeled, and it says do not open until asked. So we would go open that door up and get out the miniature. David is just going to grab it for us. All right. Thank you. And I have a prototype of that box over there, but we're not showing that yet. All right, so now we've got our miniature, and we're going to place that here on the icon, on its starting spot, and we're going to flip both of these cards over. So this card is the AI card, and this card is the monster's hit grid card. The AI card tells the monster how to act during combat, and the hit grid card shows us how many hit points that monster has in order to be defeated. When that monster's hit points are full of wounds, the monster has been defeated.
Every single one covered.
Every one covered. Yep. And this is a very basic monster. So you can see it just has normal hit points. More advanced monsters, we get into things like armored points, weak points, and critical hits, which you can see on the Kickstarter. So let's see. At the, give it a second. Can we pause just for 1 second?
Let's pause.
Don't stop recording. I just needed some water, and we'll just pause this and fast forward. This is, I feel like my cheeks are burning.
Yeah, it's funny.
Do you want to put the? You're okay. Yeah, we can, as long as we don't turn the. You want to put that up higher? Whoa.
Can you do it so that it's the other?
Yeah, work on it.
Yeah, costumes would be great.
No.
The role playing is going to be so fun. It's going to be so easy to go from D&D as a dungeon master into this. It feels so smooth. It's also going to be so easy to include people that have never played role playing games, because the prompts and everything, if they're willing to participate, it's going to be just so smooth. The problem I have as a dungeon master is getting people who are kind of hesitant to participate to come up with things on their own, and so the prompts help so much. Definitely.
We're gonna keep rolling. All right. Thank you everybody for being patient. For doing your best. Okay, so now we'll do the combat. Okay, so I'm gonna do this with my hands so I know where.
Wait, hold on.
Okay, here we go. Back to combat. All right, so now that we are in combat, we're going to take turns taking actions. So since I took the explore action, I'm going to go ahead and start the combat. I have 3 actions to spend. That's these tokens here. In a 1 and 2 player game, you would get 3 actions. In a 3 or 4 player game, you get 2 actions per turn. And that's just, just for balancing. So at the start of each player's turn, you have to draw a card for the monsters. That card comes out of the threat deck here. The threat deck is full of different kinds of cards that you can see here. Some of the cards increase the threat level. That's counted on this track here. Some of the cards will activate all the monsters, or just the boss monsters, or just the mob monsters. So for this combat, I'm going to have the deck stacked a little bit, and we'll reveal a card to start. So it's the start of my turn, it's the monster turn before my turn.
That's backwards, Cody.
Sorry, Ira. Yeah, so the monsters always go in between each player and at the start. So monsters go, we reveal our card, +2 threat. We're going to move our threat up by 2. That's it. The monster's turn is over. We'll explain what threat does on the next monster turn.
Sounds good.
Okay. So now it's my turn. I get 3 actions to spend. I can take a move action, which is what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to go ahead and take a move action. I'm going to take one of my action markers and place it on my feet. I gain 3 speed, and now I get to move 3 spaces. Let's see. I wanted to start here, I think. Can I switch? Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. Nobody saw that.
We'll fix it in post.
Rewind. There we go. All right. So I'm going to take a move action, and I'm going to move 3 spaces. So 1, 2, 3 moves me here, and you can see my sword only has a range of 1. I'll put that up on the screen. So I am not within range 1 of the practice dummy. Just a quick side note: movement and range are counted orthogonally in Iridia.
What does that mean?
Orthogonally is the opposite of diagonally? No.
Everything but diagonal.
Everything but diagonal. So up, down, left, right, but not diagonal. Yep. So that only gave me 3 movement. I would like to be able to attack this practice dummy. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 1 stamina point during my move to gain an additional 2 speed. So I slide this up here, and I get +2 to my speed. 1, 2, that gets me adjacent to the practice dummy. And now I can make an attack with my sword. So I'm going to place a action marker on my sword. And in the bottom left of my sword, there is a skill check, which says strength. And then there's 2 thresholds under it. You can see those. So I'm going to go ahead and roll the die and add my strength modifier. My strength modifier for Rix the Silent Dwarf Ruffian is 1. So I'm going to roll my d20, an 18, and then I'm going to add 1 to that. So 19 is my result. So looking at the threshold, I would pass the 11+, which gives me this pattern here. So it's a strike from left to right, and it does 2 damage. So 1, 2 across the dummy. So it might be easiest if you come over on this side for a second. Fast forward this part. And you want to give me a couple of those? Mm-hmm. All right. Oh, that's okay. And so I'm looking at the practice dummy. I get to hit him across from left to right, 2 damage.
So and pick a row.
Yeah, so I can pick any of these 4 rows. So just for the heck of it, I'm going to hit him across the head. 1, 2. Okay, that action is complete. I get 1 more action. I'm going to go ahead and attack him 1 more time because we don't want this to go forever. Whoa, another 18. What are the odds? No one can figure those odds out. That's crazy.
5%.
Is it? Okay. So that gives me 2 more damage. I'm going to go ahead and hit him here and here, just because. Well, I'll hit him across the wheels now. It doesn't trigger anything because this is just a basic.
Just on this monster.
Yeah, but other monsters
Could be significant.
You could see how there's possibilities why that could be really important. All right, so my turn is over, and my action markers stay here until the start of my next turn, where they would be refreshed. And so now it would be David's turn. So David,
let's see. I'm going to take a movement action, seeing as I'm far away. So that seems like a good place to start my turn. Did you talk through combo, Cody?
we didn't talk about combo, and I forgot to move it. Sorry, Ira.
Okay. Anytime we take a move action, the combo goes up 1. So Cody took 1 move action. I'm going to take 1 move action, which is significant if you have some combo abilities, which I do. So that's going to move me 1, 2, and 3. And because we count distance orthogonally, I'm actually going to also spend 1 of my stamina points and move an extra 1, not 2. And so from this position, I have line of sight on the practice dummy. I have a range on my weapon of 3. And I have chosen my arrow type from my quiver, which is unique to the archer class here.
So cool.
So cool.
Whoever designed that, man, genius.
So I'm ready to take my next action. The first thing I'm going to do is mark my target, which is one of my skills. It's a free action, which is indicated underneath here, and the cost is 1 combo. So I'm going to spend 1 of our combo.
And a free action means you don't have to spend 1 of your action.
It doesn't
markers
take
on
an action.
It does require that it's your turn, though.
Okay. So it says place a marker for my little stack of markers here on a target monster's card. Remove the marker on the next attack and gain +5 to attack. So I will get a +5. It also triggers a critical spot, but seeing as the monster has no critical spot, that is not relevant to this. So then I'm going to make a bow attack with my practice bow, and I'm going to roll 17. Which is
Wow,
a good,
nice
this is a good playthrough.
Nice
Yeah.
done. And this is a dexterity-based attack.
Yep, which is indicated on my bow, and I don't have.
I think you have the wrong token in there.
I do have the
It's
wrong
okay.
token. I have 1 dexterity, and so that will be +1. I also will take off my marker and gain a +5. So I get +6 to this attack. So 17 + 6 is 23, and that does exceed 12, which is what I needed to do my 2 damage. My quiver says that I deal damage from the top of the monster. Similar to how Cody did, it's directional. So I'm going to start by choosing one of the columns on the monster and then go down until I hit an empty spot and then another empty spot because I had 2 points of damage.
And one thing to note, damage that's already placed is ignored. So you pass right through it.
Yes. And then I'm going to make another attack. Eight. So without my mark, I only deal 1 damage because I get +1 to my roll, so 9, which does not exceed the 12 I need. So I'm going to deal 1 point of damage. In the similar way, I'm going to choose a column and go down until there's an empty spot.
Nicely done.
And we're almost done with this guy, but he's still got a health left, which means we're not done.
And I think we forgot to activate the monster at the start of your turn.
We also forgot.
So
Like we restarted.
No. So I think what would we do? We'll just have the monster attack me. So we can. It's so hard to do things live.
We should go back and do that turn again.
You think so?
Yeah, that's pretty significant. Right?
Well, that part
So you definitely want
is.
to have the rules right for your
Yeah.
game.
Okay. So we'll remove these. Boop, boop, boop. That was really good though, David.
That was the right rolls I needed.
And
And
make sure
we need
your
to move the
combos are
mic.
right stuff. That mic is really annoying.
But we have to
I
have
know,
it.
but I hit it every time I move.
Okay. I don't know what to do.
Talk loud.
Just talk loud. Okay, we'll put it over here, out of the way. You okay, David?
I'm good.
Okay, so I feel like we ended my turn. Okay.
Yep.
And then
Is the combo where
that's
it
where
needs to
you.
be?
Yep, everything's correct.
The combo's right. You had said the combo was wrong for mine, so we should probably do that again. So we'll start by going. I don't know how this is gonna look.
That's okay.
Okay,
I got it.
you okay, Tess?
Put me in the game
You
code.
got it. All right. 3, 2, 1, do it.
All right, so it is now my turn. So I'm going to start my turn by playing our next threat card. So we're drawing one from the threat pile and flipping it over. And this card says that mobs will activate. And if there's no mobs, then we'll get one threat. So there is a mob. That's our practice dummy. And so he's going to activate. So the first thing we're going to do is look at what threat level we have and what threat costs the different abilities of the practice dummy are. And he's going to play the one highest threat cost ability. So he has a 0 cost, a 1 cost, and a 3 cost. And we have 2 threats. So we're going to spend one of them and activate the 1 cost ability.
Hang on 1 sec. Is the camera overheating? Oh. Oh no, camera. David, good job. It's just think about it live right now in front of everybody.
Yeah, don't forget anything.
And don't forget anything. It's easy.
14.
Oh my goodness.
Take 2
We're
and
getting
action.
So close to the goal.
We were getting really close, yeah.
Do you want to borrow a shirt?
36 base games away.
Um,
But I'll need a copy of the legendary Zaya.
it just needs to record
I didn't even know there was a legendary Zaya. Is that the regular Zaya?
Okay.
But we
So should I
think it's
stop? I should
legendary.
Stop this recording anyway.
If there's a
Stop
legendary
recording.
edition of Zaya, I would like to have that too.
Stop recording.
Did you put the water?
Probably.
Oh, look at. Here, do you want?
What did your water look like?
And it's so heavy, Tess. I don't know how you're doing this. This is like 10 pounds.
She must be a mom.
This thing is so heavy, guys. Tess deserves all the credit for making this thing.
Gimbal workout.
Jeez. You sure you don't want to borrow a shirt?
Oh, okay.
Will there be a happy dance at funding?
Oh man.
I can only imagine there's going to be at least one.
Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for what song we should pick,
Not-
let us know
I
in
was
the
gonna say,
comments.
we can
Like, subscribe, smash that button.
we have to use our own
Okay.
song, right? So I think
Okay.
it should be the Iridia.
I'll explain the monster term,
Yeah, so
or do you want to explain it? Are you happy?
whatever. I'm
So
fine
I
explaining
think
it.
the
Yeah,
words
but
I
I'll stop and
yeah, I was really good at explaining. Ira, we need you here. Just
we'll- David, can you
Grab on
put
that.
that?
is that okay? The most expensive. That's I think the words we want to use. The most expensive expensive
threat cost ability.
let's just call it behavior. I think that's
The most
the
expensive
most expensive behavior.
Okay.
I think sounds the best. The monster will choose the most expensive behavior available. We have 2 threat. He's going to do his 1 threat. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw that to you. So if you want, I can do that one.
Whatever
And
you
then-
want to do.
Okay, I'll do that one and then you
Okay.
can do your turn maybe.
That's fine.
Okay, so
Totally
we'll
fine.
start with this. And then I can start by correcting I should have gained 1 combo. And then that will be. You'd think after 7 years, I would remember my rules.
So you just changed them.
I was going to
I
say.
know, I know.
Only I think what you should do at some point
I
is
feel like my brain is falling apart.
we
sometimes.
should pull out the box of stuff and we should go through all the different combat ideas that
You guys want to
can-
see? Look at this.
Yeah, the chat would love this. I think that could be a whole stream is you going through all these boxes.
This is
Cody refuses to throw any prototypes away.
this is all like.
So we've got like dozens of versions.
Look
of the
how
game.
great these look. Do you want to play that game? Oh yeah. Or this one. Look how big these player mats used to be.
They were huge.
They were awesome. Anyways, I'll do some good pictures of these. All right. How are we doing? Good. You ready? Okay. Cool. So I'll
So you say it's my turn.
We make sure
Blues
you-
riff in B. Follow me for the changes. Keep it light. Thank you. Record everything. Okay. Audio is recording.
So just go from when you ended your turn.
Okay, that's good.
And then throw it to
And
me.
I'll throw it to you after the monster maybe. So I'll have you flip the card over, but nope, start streaming, stop streaming. Start recording. Human Christmas. Tick. Okay. And we've got the microphone, we'll put it right in the way for you, Tess, so that you'll hit it with your camera.
Okay, you're gonna go first.
I'm gonna go ahead and go first, so. We're recording, you're recording.
Yeah.
We're live, coming at you. Okay, so I've just finished my turn. I realized I forgot to do one thing. So every time a player takes a move action, they generate one combo. Combo is a resource that the players share. They can generate it on their turns and they can spend it. So for example, I could generate combo on my turn and then David can spend it on his. So it's one of those mechanics that we've designed around cooperative play. It also works completely well in solo. So when I took my move action, the combo should actually be at 1 at the end of my turn. So now it is the start of David's turn. So at the start of his turn, the monster's gonna go. So he's gonna flip over the top card of the threat deck and see what happens. Oh dear, the monsters activate. So you can see that there is a mob activation. And this is a mob type card that we're fighting here, this monster. And so this mob is going to activate. If there were no mobs on the board and instead we were fighting against boss monsters, then instead of the mobs activate, we would add 1 threat. That's why it says or. So the players don't get to choose, it's the game state. So when a monster activates, we look at their AI card and we go from top to bottom looking for the most expensive behavior that we can spend threat on, and we'll choose that. So looking, we've got 2 threat. So out of these, we have to choose this one here, which costs 1 threat. So we're gonna go ahead and spend 1 threat, and we're gonna use the Quack ability. So he's gonna target the furthest exile, that's what this ability says, and he's gonna move up to 6 spaces and then make a whack attack, which is this here. So he's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's coming over to David, and he's going to make an attack. And I would like to note, if David was 1 space away, he would, or if he was out of reach, he would have done the smarter thing and targeted somebody that he could reach.
The farthest exile that he can reach.
The farthest exile he can reach. Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so looking at the whack ability, and I'm going to put this up on the screen for you. You can see that there's a attack grid here that shows how far the monster needs to be exactly. So the monster actually needs to be 1 space orthogonally, and this could be rotated in any direction, but he needs to be 1 space orthogonally from his target. So David's his target, which is why David moved him back 1 space. Okay, so the monster would move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. Now he is achieving the whack ability, and he's going to do 2 damage. So
With a blue hit dice.
he's going to roll a hit dice. Each attack that a monster has a different hit dice associated with it. So David has the blue dice, and he can go ahead and roll that against himself.
Oh, no armor.
All right.
So
So,
it's going here,
yep.
where that attack is landing,
Mhm.
based on my paper doll. And so since I have no armor to block that, I'm just going to take the full amount of damage, which is 2 for this one. So health drops down 2. Yeah, that's rough.
All right. So the monster activation is now done, and now it's David's turn.
All right. So for my turn, I'm going to want to take some shots at this guy, I think, with my bow. The first thing I'm going to do is spend the combo that Cody earned for me with my character's ability called Mark. It is a 1 cost for combo, so we're going to spend our 1 combo. And it is also a free action, meaning that I can take it on my turn. I have to take it on my turn, but it does not cost one of my important action markers. It says place a marker on the target monster's card. The next attack against the marked enemy, remove the marker and gain +5 to attack. After attack, you may trigger 1 critical spot. we discussed that this monster doesn't have critical spots, but I will still take that +5 to my attack roll. I'm going to put my marker on his card, and then immediately I'm going to attack him. So I'm going to use my bow, my practice bow. I'm going to activate it. There's a couple things I need to make sure that I'm doing first. One is that I'm in range, so we're counting spaces orthogonally. I am in range. We are also making sure I have line of sight. Since it's a ranged weapon, there's no obstructions. There are no obstructions. And so now I'm going to roll just like Cody did, my d20, and I got a 15. I'm also going to remove my marker and add 5, so that's 20. And then I'm going to add my dexterity, since it's a dexterity-based weapon. So my total roll is going to be 21, which exceeds 12, which means I'm going to check my quiver, which tells me I need to do 2 damage starting from the top. So I'm going to pick a column and put 2 damage markers on the first available locations. So from the top on that side, that one, and then that one.
And
my marker off.
It's worth noting, damage that's already done is ignored. So his attack is coming from the top. It passes through this first wound and then hits here and here.
The first available thing, the first available spot. Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. And then I'm going to keep shooting my bow since I'm in range. I have 3 actions, and so we'll roll again. I got a 17. Didn't even need to use my mark at that time, so I get 17 plus my dexterity still, so that's 1 more 18, which exceeds 12. So I'm going to do 2 more damage, and I'm going to finish this guy off by going down the right column. So down, first one available, and then my bow lets me do a second one in line.
Nicely done, David. So now that the monster's hit grid is full of wounds, it's been defeated. This combat, you can see, is extremely easy. Does the game get harder? Yes, it does. This is a practice dummy just designed to give you sort of a taste of how combat works. Things ramp up. So please don't worry about the balance of this particular fight. It's meant to be very easy for you. All right. So now that the monster has been defeated, we're going to go through a couple steps for cleaning up combat. One is to shuffle the threat deck. So this would go back and be shuffled. We remove the monster, and where did the monster's card go? I lost it. Oh, here it is. Now we get rewards. So at the very bottom of the card, it shows this little bag icon. That means you get rewards. What's our reward for destroying this monster? 1 experience point. So each member of the party would get 1 experience point. Yeah, I'm going to add that into my player board, and now I've got 2 experience points. Looking here at my dwarf's card, I can see I need 3 experience points to reach level 1. I hope I get there. We'll see. Okay, so now we can remove this card and the miniature, set those aside, and we are now out of combat. So we're going to flip from combat mode back into adventure mode. Now, since we're back in adventure mode, again, it's more freeform and we can explore the world how we want. Since we're in the tutorial, we're going to follow what it says. So there's a pointer here to small 0. And so we're going to go ahead and explore. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draw small 0 out of box. I'm going to go to the active deck. There is small 0. It's at the top. I'm going to pull it out, and there's some text to read. David, do you want to go ahead and read that?
There's a hole in the ground. You push your way through the bush and find an entrance to a small cave. Though it's not very deep, the far side of the cave is quite dark. And we're going to flip this over and line up our little pointers together, which should make the art line up.
And one of us, sorry, that was me. I should have moved my miniature over here.
Yes.
Okay, so now you can see that exploring this cave shows us there's a point of interest over here. This is the first time we've seen a point of interest, so I want to go over here and explore this point of interest, POI 0. So now I'm going to go to the index, and I'm going to thumb through and look for POI 0. There it is. It's at the top again. This is amazing, David.
Works out well.
And now I'm going to read, this is the small cave. So I'll read this, even though I guess it would be your job. as
My
the
job
guide.
to read.
Okay, so you're the guy. Thank you.
There's a small cave.
Thank you.
You find yourself in a small cave. You can still make out some sounds coming from outside. If it doesn't seem like anyone has been back here for a while, but there's some sort of tracks here in the dirt.
Mm.
What
Now,
would you like to do?
Again, as a role-playing game, you can role-play this. So David, acting as the guide, reads this to me, and now I could respond in character, and we can do that, or we can just interact with it mechanically, where I can say, well, what are my options? And David would say, you can do this or that. So if we're role-playing, I go, oh, I want to know about, like, what do I hear out there? What are the sounds?
The sounds, yeah.
So David's going to flip the card over, and on the back of the card, you can see there are responses that David has based on what I ask him. And so it's sort of up to David to parse what it is, if I'm asking about the sounds. So now he can go ahead and read about the sounds.
You hear the dull thuds and clangs of other exiles practicing just outside the field, or just outside in the field, though the sounds are muffled by the thick bush.
And that didn't seem to go anywhere. So it just gives us a little bit of flavor. And sometimes at a point of interest, you're sort of searching. And so some paths will go somewhere, some won't. And so I remember there were some tracks. I can see some tracks in the artwork here. So I want to sort of investigate these tracks.
You see a pair of tracks leading deeper into the cave. Though it's quite dark in here, you think you could search for where the tracks end.
Well, I want to search.
Okay.
What do I do?
So for that, you're going to look around, and the result is based on an intelligence check.
Okay.
So make an intelligence check.
And let's see. I don't have any intelligence. My intelligence bonus is 0.
I'm sorry, Cody.
Wah, wah, wah. So I'm going to just roll the d20. I don't get to add anything to it. 16.
Hey, that's pretty good.
I'm smart today.
All right. So you look around and find something of note. It says gain key 0, then banish this card.
Okay. So key 0, we're going to go back to the index and grab key 0 out. What could that be? So I'm going to go ahead and look at it, and it says advanced dummy. You discovered the broken remains of a practice dummy. Unlike the normal dummy, this one looks cunningly crafted. And now it has some rules text below it. It says, keep until you find the trigger text on another card, then draw event 1. The trigger text, it says, is Guild Leader Thades. That's something I remember from earlier. So we know where Guild Leader Thades is here. So if we're able to interact with a card that has his trigger text, we're able to do what the trigger text says, which is draw an event.
So to finish our key card, we just need to find the text printed on another card in the game.
Yeah.
Any card in the game.
Any card in the game that has that text specifically. And
Okay.
so as a mechanic during the game, you may have multiple of these and be looking for certain things that maybe you wouldn't normally have if you didn't have these key cards. So event 1, we know where that is. And in the tutorial, it tells us, let's go back and talk to Guild Leader Thades. So I'm going to go ahead in adventure mode. Again, we don't have to count spaces, but we do have to path correctly. Just in case like there's an event token in between where we're going, that event would trigger. We couldn't just teleport through it. So I'm going to travel back to NPC 0.
I'm going to go with you.
All right, come along. And now that we're able to interact with NPC 0, as soon as we draw it, we see Guild Leader Thades.
That's the trigger.
That's our trigger text. We're going to go ahead and draw event 1. All right, event 1. So we go to the index. That's event 0. I put it back in on accident. Here's event. Oh no, that's for later. Sorry. Here's event 1, the missing dummy. So it says, you explained to Thades that you found his missing dummy in a small cave near the practice field. Ah, so that's what happened to it, eh? Must have gotten something wrong to wander off like that. And this icon tells us to flip the card, so we flip it. Well now, says Thades, I don't want to show you any favoritism, but I had a little practice gear left over, so why don't you take it? And now the rules say take all 8 set 0 basic items, divide them among the players as you see fit. And then key 0, that was the card that we used to trigger this event, is banished, and we gain 1 experience point and then banish this card. It's a lot of stuff to go through, but I think
All there in order if you forget.
they're
You just go
all
step
in
by
order.
step.
Yep. So banish this card, gain the items. David, if you would grab those items for us.
I just pulled all of the practice 0 set stuff out of the box.
Okay. And then we'll grab the 1 experience each.
1 experience each. I'll put that on your board.
Thank you. And I'm going to put these cards that are banished back into the index under the banished section here. We won't need these for the rest of the playthrough. Okay.
We're talking about the gear.
Yeah, so Thades kindly gives us 8 pieces of loot, this practice gear. It's the worst gear in the game, but it's better than nothing. You can see right now we barely have anything. And so at this point, we are going to divide this loot up between us and put it onto our paper doll practice gun, or sorry, practice gear. And so this mechanic is one of the things that we're using to balance the game for lower player counts. And if you're playing true solo, you would get all of this gear right onto your
Which is like
character.
most of a basic set of armor.
Yeah, it gives you like, but if you're playing in 4-player where you have a larger hit pool, you're not going to get all that armor right off the bat. So you split that up, right? So that being said, we'll just go ahead and grab a few pieces. David, you can grab some. I'm going to grab this cracked flask. We don't know what it does exactly yet. And I'm going to match my.
Yeah,
where
good
my
call. Good
cuffs.
call. Make it even.
And then
I'm gonna take a knapsack.
you can get the knapsack.
You should take more armor. You're the fighter, the Path of Valor. So
Yeah.
I think you should have more armor. I'll just take some gloves.
That sounds good. Each item on the back of it has an item type. So this item is a flask. This item here is a shield, believe it or not. And so every item in the game has a rules card for it. So if you get a new item in the index, there'll be a rules card for it. You go, what does a flask do? And it'll tell you, oh, a flask, I put markers on it, and it will heal me by some amount when I drink out of it. A knapsack, you'll put markers on it, and it will give you stamina by removing the markers and eating them. Basically. Don't eat the markers. Sorry.
Don't
Your
eat markers.
character, you're thinking in your head that the character's eating the
Food that the
but
markers
you're actually
represent.
just moving a little wood cube.
Yes, please do
Okay.
not eat any more markers.
This is
We don't have that many.
Yeah, choking hazard. Okay. So where are we? We got all our gear.
Our key was done.
Yep. And we actually wouldn't get any of these cubes yet.
Okay.
But yep, you've got that. And next up, we're going to talk to Guild Leader Thades. And again, we're just following through the tutorial steps. This is exactly what you would do in your playthrough. So at this point, it tells us that we are going to leave. We're ready to begin our hunt for squills and our adventure. Again, this is just the tutorial. So we talk to Guild Leader Thades, and he's going to say, all right, are you sure you're ready to start the hunt? And we can make this choice, yes or no. So our choice is yes.
I'm ready to start the hunt.
Yes, we're ready to start.
Wait a long time to start this hunt.
Draw event 0. And it says, the mist of the morning is beginning to clear off. All the exiles, packed and ready to embark, gather around the fire. Thades rises and addresses everyone. Having been an exile myself, I've dedicated my life to helping the downtrodden and the outcasts. I'm sure you all have your reasons for being here. As Thades speaks, you think about your own exile. And then I'm going to skip this part. There's some rules stuff here that we don't really want to go into. And then Thades says, go forth, just for spoilers. So go forth and remember your training. Thades finishes. And now, I'm going to cover this, but Thades, it says NPC 0 change to B state. So right now, NPC 0 is Thades, and he is currently in the A state. So we're going to go to the inactive deck, which is the back of the index, and we're going to find NPC 0 B. So NPC 0 B, and we're going to replace Thades. It says to replace him. So Thades' A is going back in here, and B is coming out. Now, anytime we come and talk to NPC 0 in the game, he's going to be the B version of that. He's going to remember what we've done. So just by simply updating that card, the game remembers. If you come back a month later and you're like, what were we doing? Let's talk to Thades. He's going to remember what you did, even if you don't. So you can talk to him. You can trust the game to remember. So kind of fun. So now Guild Leader Thades, the card says, your mentor's here, giving last advice and wishing exiles well as they depart. Well, no use waiting around. This region is a good spot for the guild. Lots of people needing help. I just heard of some pests causing trouble nearby. And there's a village not too far from here where you can pick up some jobs.
That sounds
Yeah. So, David, would you like to pick one of these, or we'll just go through? Oh, I wanted to touch on role-playing points before we're done.
I would like to hear more about the region then.
All right. David, it's like you played this before.
Weird.
All right, so I'm going to flip the card over, and region says the continent of Iridia is as diverse as the people which call it home. This thaw, the guild is operating here in the basin.
Ooh, what is the basin?
And you can see here on the map, you might have read, it says the basin. So on the card, I'll show you, I'll bring it up as an overlay. You can see it says the basin is a branching part of the dialogue. So after I've asked what's in the region, you can now basically it unlocks this part of dialogue. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So now Thades would say the grasslands here are surrounded by mountains on all sides, thus the name. It was once part of a mighty kingdom, but most of that lies now in ruins. And now you can see there's this little teal book icon. That icon is a role-playing point. So a role-playing point means if you are the guide, which I'm acting as the guide for David right now, you would earn a role-playing point. At the top of my character's equipment board, is the role-playing point space. I would place a marker here because I just earned a role-playing point. This role-playing point can be spent anytime I'm making a check with my dice.
Any check?
Any
check in the game?
Any check in the game.
Wow.
And so
That's exciting.
I'm trying to think, is there a caveat there? It's okay.
How about most checks?
Most checks in the game.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll fix it in post. Most checks in the game. Sorry, I'm sure we're butchering this.
That's a lot of options.
That's a lot of
you're
options.
adding to rolls.
So when you're making a check with your D20, and say I really needed to make this check and I failed by some amount. If I've failed this check, I can add 3 to it by spending my role-playing point. So I would take and remove this marker, put it back, and I could add 3 to my roll. When I do that, the rules ask me to describe what I'm doing or role play what I'm doing. So if I was making a sword attack and I really needed to get that last
1 point.
yeah, that last 1 point or up to 3 points, I like rolled just a little bit too low. I can spend my role playing point and I say I dig deep down emotionally and I remember my childhood and I smashed this guy as if he was the bully who used to sit on me.
I like it.
Anyway, whatever you want to say. So you get to role play that. And it gives you +3 to your roll. What if you don't want to role play? That's fine. You can just use it mechanically. You'll come across the points, you'll earn them, and then at some point that's advantageous mechanically to you, you just spend that point, get +3 to your roll. You don't have to role play in this game.
Only you and the people you're playing with are the auditors of what role
Absolutely. You guys have
Yes.
as much fun
Yes.
as you want.
Whatever the group is comfortable with.
Yep, totally. Yeah, so let's see. Now we don't have to talk to Thades anymore. I'll let you guys in your playthroughs, you can talk to him as much as
What
you
else
want
is he
right
going to
now.
tell us?
There's other things.
Is he going to tell us important things?
Maybe.
Oh man, I really want to know what those are.
So at this point, now we can begin our adventure. So we would leave by going to the pointer that says hex E2. So we take our characters and pretend we're walking off, and we would place them here. All right. So now we would close this location, putting these back. Since these locations have been explored, they go back into the index face up. So you can see on the back side, it shows our pointer here, and on the front, it shows our pointer here. we put it back in the index face up. That means we've already explored it. So that when we come back here, any tokens on here, such as event tokens or monsters, we wouldn't place those again. So the game, again, remembers very simply just by when you put it away face up, there you go. Now, next time you come back here, or obviously there's a lot more regions, if you revisit a region,
unless something has changed,
which is possible,
you're going to come back to the same place.
There's A and B states for map cards also, so we can do whatever we want. So we would put all these back. We don't need to do it for our demo, and now we are on the world map. All right, can we take this? Yeah, we're at 25 minutes.
My
We're like
5K.
almost done. There's like two
5K.
steps left.
All right. I'm not going to make it through all these.
Are people asking
Shake my head,
questions?
feeling only 5.4K missing. That's great. How creative could David get with his response? Could he create a background story for an NPC on the spot? Or would
Oh,
that
for
potentially
that
get in the
one?
way of the NPC's real background? There's a lot of room for role playing. You could come up with quite a bit. The game will tell you what you know about your background. So that as much as you want. And just like in any role playing game, if you need to change things on the fly, you change it on the fly because you're the one making up the story at that point.
Well,
Right?
is that-
Am I wrong?
I mean, there are hard mechanics.
There are.
You can goof around as much as you want, but you can't say like, and everybody gets 5 potions, and then I mean, it's a game, so you can break the rules.
They're
You can
talking about
house rule
like
it, but-
backgrounds of your character.
Oh,
like,
for that specific card.
Yeah.
That specific card. Yeah, it just says
A
state your
lot.
response.
There are some things that
You
would
could,
not make
yeah,
sense,
you
but
could ham it up. as
a
much as you
lot
want.
of things you could put in there. Yeah. An NPC called Cody. Hello, I'm Cody, the creator of this world. Oh, that'd be fun. Could do like the old Pokemon Red guy, version of you at the end of the mountain there. Or was that silver? I can't remember. I think that was silver. Can't wait to see the finished cut. Me too. It's gonna be really fun. Are there any $1 backers in the live stream? Log in and yes, please. I would love everyone to be a full backer.
Don't pressure people. Let them do what they want.
I didn't tell them to do it. I just said I'd love it.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been wondering what these points were, and this is really awesome. Good. That's great. The role playing points are if that's the point you're talking about. If you're talking about the points of interest, that's also very exciting. I'm excited for all those things and the way they interact with each other. It's going to be it's very robust is the word I keep coming back to. There's a lot of things we can do with that.
The word robust.
It's great. It's a very sturdy system we can build onto.
Oh.
I'm sure anyone listening could imagine the options, just coming off of those systems we just described. Since
No
we're
spoilers,
hunting for,
David.
I don't spoil anything.
Okay.
That's fine.
So
I'm
many
not.
comments during Christmas.
I cannot stress this enough. Cody's head in the game. That's been there a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure that's my brother-in-law. Is that him?
No, that's Leon.
Oh,
Leon's been
thanks,
around a
Leon.
whole bunch. Yeah. Since we are hunting for squills and there aren't components for the squills, how are those represented in the game?
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
We'll get to it at some point.
We'll get to it at some point.
Yeah. We're not doing a live Q&A. I feel like we talked. I don't want people who we've told them we're going to do a live Q&A on Monday
To miss out.
on anything.
Sorry,
So
I cannot answer any more questions.
you can answer fun questions, but let's not try and I don't know. I feel bad for people because we didn't announce this. I feel bad if we're like, all right, let's dive in and answer a bunch of questions. So
Get your shot set up.
I'll be here. I'm gonna go take 2 minutes.
Let's open the door too.
Yeah, it's so
It's toasty in here. Hi, train. This is I can show off nonsense things. This is our official Ledgerman hat that I created. Very good. We use it sometimes in the office. The Legerdman pretty much just keeps score in the games. So it's a little reference that we really, really like. See if you can identify what our favorite make-believe game is. I guess it's not make-believe anymore, is it? I think someone made it. It's very hot. Oh man, it's getting close. I feel like it got close and then slowed down. I think the video just also feels a lot longer. Regarding the epic hunt. Hey, that looks like a very cool person in the chat. Ariana's in the chat. She picked out where my Legerdman hat came from.
Where is it?
It's from the Cones of Dunshire, which is a Parks and Rec like segment where Ben makes a fake game when he's like got too much free time. Yeah, it's great.
All right. You want to pay test?
Yeah.
Go for another. How much longer? We've got. I don't know why I didn't just pull up the tutorials so we could have it on tap here. I feel like I've gone through it so many times. It's nice.
The Cones of Dunshire.
I should have like printed it out. That's what I should have done.
I feel like Ariana has an advantage though because she's my wife. So of course she knows exactly what my reference is for.
Wow. Is Ariana watching?
Yeah, she just
no.
commented.
Hi, Ariana. We're doing serious work here.
This is
Very difficult,
This-
hard
as you
labor.
can tell, this is serious me working at my serious job.
In your Letterman
In
hat.
my Legerdman hat.
All aboard!
I'm keeping
Alright,
score.
let's see. We defeated the monster. Did we forget
Excellent.
anything?
Probably.
Is Ira in the chat?
Is
Ira-
Ira in the chat?
Ira, are we missing anything? Do you think we should reshoot the entire thing? Throw in the towel, guys.
30 bases. So serious. Ariana says so serious.
So serious.
Yes, she knows.
Alright. I used my sword.
You are the best. I have you guys up on the TV even. Oh wow, cool.
Up on the big screen. Nice.
Very cool. Well, there you go. We just live stream our offices to each other, and then it feels like we're working in the same place.
Oh, right.
Yes.
We're gonna level up before we go to the.
We should go 4K. Is it? This looks like 5 to me.
Well, we're in the 4K.
We're in the. That's
Technically,
true.
it
The
is
first
less than
number is.
5K. You're exploring the world map. No, level up. It's now time to level up. No. Oh no, we level up after we explain
It's now time to level up.
the world map. Right? Point of interest. That's right. I forgot this when we were teaching the dice tower, and Ira jumped in, and he was like, "Oh, but first, Cody," and he's like, so gentle, and like, "Yes, that's yes, I."
Should have flown Ira out for this.
You want to do the POI then?
Well, we're just following through this. So from hex. So no, we're
I was
right.
doing that after we left the camp. Yeah. The
So we
POI.
need, no,
Yeah,
we're right. We're right. But I
But
was
then you wanna
thinking
level
we
up.
want to go right into the overworld exploration stuff, but we don't want to. We actually just want to do well, we are not sorry. I thought we were going to do the travel system, but first we do the overworld point of interest, level up, and then
we travel. Then you're
and then the travel system, right?
basically you're free from there. Yeah, yeah.
We get some supplies. Right, town actions. Deep breath. Okay. I'm gonna print this real quick. What level? Where am I here? Page 2, 26.
What other fun things are there in the office I can show off?
Don't show anything you shouldn't, David.
Obviously
31.
not. I'm just doing fun stuff.
If they knew what was sitting right there,
What's sitting right there? So, something really close to them?
Don't tell them. They'll look.
They'll look.
If somebody bumps that camera, we're in so much trouble. Will you put something over that? Seriously.
Yeah, the computer's gonna like.
I've had
take
some-
over
I know.
and just,
Like one of the kids will like grab one of the things and our live stream.
Really spoiler video on YouTube.
No. Okay. It gives me so much anxiety to be live. I love you guys, but it's also very scary to be in front of people.
So much
Okay.
bump the camera.
No, not bump the camera. Okay. 20. Page.
Reshoot it all. Yeah, so this was an impromptu thing. We realized we're getting close on.
Is that Ira? He says to reshoot it?
No. That's
How much is this?
this was. I don't want to try and pronounce the name. I'm sure I would do it wrong. Someone that just got here. They said because they weren't here. Oh, Ira must be watching. Yes, this is
Hey,
this
Ira,
is an
I'm
impromptu
joining
live stream. We noticed we're getting close on numbers, and we're also shooting our gameplay video for everyone. And so we're not doing a ton of questions right now, and we're really just giving you a behind-the-scenes look into the office here. Welcome to Far Off Games. This is the office. It is very, very fun in here. We've got our games on the wall, just like everybody. We've got, you can see the big whiteboard in the back, or the cork board. Got all of our big plans up there. Everybody jump on 3 to shake the camera. That's great. Yeah, got all kinds of stuff. We've got, what else? Got our weights we use to exercise while we're working.
Yeah, that was the thing. We had like my webcam is tied up.
What else? Lots of gaming stuff. We've got like a PlayStation somewhere. We're all wired up for VR setups. That's what all the cameras on the walls are. Cody just doesn't like watch me when I'm working here. Just for VR. Got our game table, of course, in here. All kinds of fun things. Oh man, I really don't want to. I'm so bad at names. There's a character in your name that I don't even know what it is. I'm sure it's an important one. 4.8. It's drag. I told you, people are like waiting to be like the one. It's gonna go like.
They're not even gonna know.
They can see how much our goal is, right?
I know, but how would they know if they're the one that's supposed to
Okay,
be
yeah, that would be awesome.
Could be several people.
I mean, that's the thing is we gotta. I think the moral of the story is everyone should just up their pledge right now. Yeah, I think that's the moral of the story.
I'm talking to Ira.
Aspirn. There we go. I gave it a shot. Thank you for
I
the
have been
the
busy
phonetics.
Do you think I should stop and type up something? I feel like we have a little bit of time. We're almost done with the shoot. We're okay. So I'm gonna do that and then. Okay, awesome. That was Ira. He's gonna join us in the chat, so you guys can talk to him there. Thank you, Ira. And
Is he taking questions in the chat?
he'll be helpful in the chat, but like I said, we're trying not to do a live Q&A without.
Wait for me to say that out loud. Yeah.
Yep.
So there's not a live Q&A, but Ira will be there to correct any egregious mistakes people make.
Just a live behind the scenes of the work at Far Off Games. Let's see. Print.
The video will go up when it's done. Just depends on what our next thing is. It's definitely one of our
goal
priorities.
was to have it done for the update today.
The goal was to have it done today, Cody says. So
We'll
as
see.
soon as possible. It just
We'll
depends.
see. I mean, come on, please. Why does it want to come on?
Ira's here.
There we go. All right. Okay. I'm going to do the point of interest, level up, and take the town action, get supplies. And make sure we stack the deck so that this card comes up. Yes, it does. Heavy rain.
Good game.
Or light snowfall. High winds. I don't know what
That's not a game.
Thick. Oh, fog, because fog stands for far off games. It's a self-portrait. No, what do they call that? A self-reference? Anytime we say the word fog in the game. What? I'm already in the game as fog. I think that one works. Yeah, it's beautiful. Heavy rain is the one I have in here. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Never use that out. This has been a lot of talking.
It's a lot of talking. This is like a D&D day. Like get done and like
I know, my voice
just
is
sore. I'm just normal talking.
And then it's gonna be lunchtime. What do you guys have for lunch? Thai food. Thai food.
David always picks Thai Bay
Oh,
every
God.
time.
You
we
can
don't-
pick that. You're
we-
doing the most.
We don't always have to.
You're like lifting weights.
Yeah.
If you want to have lunch,
No.
is Tim?
Yes, I will.
Oh, Tim. Okay. I wonder do you know if Dad is down at the mill? Is Dad here? He was gonna do some tractor
Really,
stuff.
I wants to be here for the end.
Dad, if you're listening, you can come on over for lunch.
That's
Thai
what
food.
we're gonna just do from now on. We're just gonna have this going all the time, and if we
Just-
won't call or text
I mean,
anybody,
if
we'll
you're-
just
Hey,
assume.
Everyone's watching us all.
They're working late. My dwarf. think so. Okay, we just traveled to the world map. Now we're going to get to a point of interest. Right on top. David, you did such a good job.
I did it.
Getting all these-
got all the things.
I had messed
I know.
this copy up
Oh,
so
I'm
bad.
aware. I had to put them all back in order.
David's a champion. If you're watching, David's the true hero here.
David just walks behind Cody and cleans up.
All of the mess, so much disaster in
You
here.
gotta, if you have a creative mind, like the creative mind is less organized, and so like having stuff all over the counters is like really helpful for that process. But at the same time, you know, if you can't find things, then that's not helpful. And so we're a good mix.
It's a good,
You go make
it's a good
messes,
team up.
I go organize them, and then we're ready for more creative.
Where was David? Does David need to be back in the shop?
Yeah, David will need to be back.
Great. You can. Ready? All right.
David is the shop.
Get a recording, audio recording. Ba, 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 ba. Hit record here. Don't start streaming, but hit start recording.
I think my HP is too high.
He hit you for 2.
Yeah, it was too high. Someone just had moved it. Higher.
Somebody just called you, Tess. Do you need to?
Is it 10?
Is BB Tim? Baby?
Last time.
Boy, that's embarrassing. I'm glad the whole world didn't just hear you when he was in your phone. That'd be funny.
Okay.
BB.
Well, last time I was texting Cody and I thought it.
She thought it was Tim.
Oh, no.
I'm very glad you didn't say anything embarrassing. Abby thought it was the best.
So I was like, he wasn't replying back. And I was like, do you still love me?
Of course I still love you, Tess.
And I was like, oh, that's
Oh my gosh.
for you. And I was like, that was a joke.
Just joking. Just
kidding.
kidding. We're not having trouble. It's fine. Just kidding. Okay. Now let's talk about the game. Oh, you ready to test? 3, 2, 1. I haven't been talking, but all right. All right. Okay, so now I want to close this door.
Well, yeah, that's very important.
That jar is way better. All right, we're looking okay? All right, so now we are exploring the world map. So looking at hex E2, and I'll pull it up so that you can get an overlay. It shows that there are 2 things we could explore here. One is Big Zero, which, as you remember, is the map that we just put away, big 0. And looking at it, oh, it's face up. We know that we've explored this place already. We can remember, right? The other one on here is POI 1. So similar to the point of interest that we found in that cave earlier, there's another point of interest card here. So we're going to go to the index. We're going to draw it out. Point of interest 1, it says Exiles Camp. A small group of patched together tents is here. Exiles mill about, helping each other as best they can. And then it says town actions on the other side. So we're going to flip it over, and now we get this nice list of town actions. You can see there's a little bit of cropping issue. I'm going to fix all that. Just one aspect of this being a prototype and not the final version. So please know all mistakes will be fixed.
Fixed in post.
Fixed in post, yeah. So here at the Exiles Camp, these are town actions. Different towns will have different actions. We're not going to go into all of them, but for this, we're going to look at leveling up. So you can see that there's a guild presence here in this town, and it says level up. We can spend experience points to level up to a maximum of 4. So at this town, the maximum level we can reach is 4. So looking at our experience, I've got 3 experience. David?
I have 3 experience.
Whoa, our experience, you can see it's enough to level up to level 1. So at this time, we're going to spend 3 experience points. Boom, boom, boom. Thank you, David. And we're just going to return those to the supply. And now we are going to take these shouldn't have been in here. Whoops. Okay. We're going to take our level 1 tokens and put them into our player board here. So now you can see we were level 0. Now we are level 1. You can see that there are checkboxes. We could, if we wanted to, lightly mark them with a pencil and then erase them at the end of the campaign. You can use a clear sleeve and a Sharpie and mark them off.
What if we don't want to mark them, Cody?
If you don't want to mark them, everything is fully recorded accurately here in your cardboard tokens. So you actually don't need to use any of these checkboxes if you don't want to. Right? So the next step that we're going to do in the leveling up is out of these 3 stats, that is hit points, mana points, and stamina points, or HP, MP, and SP, we get to choose one of those to level up. So looking here, I could increase my hit points, my mana points, or my stamina points. Being the warrior, I'm going to go ahead and choose hit points. So I'm going to move my maximum hit points. So I'm going to take this token out and move it from 5 up to 6. Again, I don't have to check this box off. If I wanted to, I could. So now it's recorded. And the next step is we're going to look at our 6 attributes: strength, dexterity, intelligence, wisdom, charisma, and endurance. And I get to check one of these boxes and immediately move up to that number in the attribute. So for me, I have kind of a difficult choice. Looking at my sword, which is my primary weapon right now, I have a strength check. So I could increase my strength by 2, up to 2. Right now, I already have a strength of 1. Being a dwarf, I start with 1 strength. So looking at that, I could also go and check something like dexterity, which would go all the way up from 0 up to 2. So if I checked strength every time I level up, it would be pretty inefficient, even though that might be my primary stat. So the way that I level up,
Efficient to pick different things.
it can be. So
Yeah.
so those choices are up to you. Also, it allows you, say, if you were leveling up somewhere higher and you found a weapon that was not your primary stat, you could easily, the next time you level up, get that attribute way up higher, so that now that
The competitive level.
yeah, to a competitive level, so that that piece of equipment is now viable for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and just increase my strength by flipping this token over. Now I have 2 strength. I don't know what happened to my things. Sorry, I should have other ones. I have 1 wisdom and 1 endurance.
I'll get this for you.
Okay, David's going to get those for you. We'll just fast forward this part. Fast forward this part. Wisdom, endurance. So you can see now I have 2 strength, 1 wisdom, 1 endurance. I'm at level 1, feel good. The last thing that I get to do, maybe my most exciting thing, is I get to get a new skill out of the skill tree. So the skill tree starts on the left and goes to the right. Any of the skills that I have already learned will go into my character's skill slots.
There's 5 of them.
There are 5 skill slots on my character. Sorry, sometimes I just lose words. To take a skill out of the skill tree, you first have to meet the prerequisites for it. So for example, I could not take this smite skill because there's a black arrow pointing to it, and I don't already know this cleave skill. So some of the skills are, if you're familiar with like a video game tech tree, just like that. So
you must complete all the arrows leading to it.
You must.
You can flip it over.
Thank you, David. That's a much more precise way to say it. So for my first skill, I'm going to go ahead and choose taunt. So I'm going to let you know in this prototype, these words are incorrect. It should not say to unlock. It should actually say to master. And so I'll put the correct one in the overlay. So right now I'm going to learn the skill. So I push down on the right side and it pops it up, and then I just pull it out.
It's a pretty cool triple layered board. You got
Wow, those are
pops
awesome.
Right out. That's cool.
And now it goes into my character board face up still. I have learned this skill. So I've gone to the guild, I've trained, and I've learned it, but I haven't mastered it yet. So I can't actually use this skill in combat. What it does do is it gives me a mini objective to complete in order to master it. So for this skill, it says to unlock, it actually should say to master. So it says to master this skill, end my turn adjacent to an enemy. So all I have to do to master this skill, which is very simple, is in combat, end my turn adjacent to an enemy. And then this skill, I will have mastered it. I'll get to flip it over, and then it becomes a skill that I can use in my character board. So that's how skills work. David's going to go ahead and learn the skill, but we don't need to go into that right now. You can just grab one. I guess it doesn't really matter for the video. Okay. It matters. Sorry, it
matters
totally
for my
matters.
video.
It totally matters.
Nope, I got my note picked up. I'm ready to go.
All right, we're good to go. One other aspect is we really want to be conscious of table space since this is such a big game. This skill tree is fairly large, and you only need it when you're leveling up. So when you're not leveling up, you can just stack one of your other boards on top of it, and now you've got way more space. There you go. So we are done leveling up, I believe. We didn't go through David's stuff, but
Same but different class.
same but different class. There you go.
Yep.
That's for you to explore and enjoy in your own playthrough. All right. So before we leave, we're going to do another town action so we can take the rest action here in this town. This is our exiles camp. We're welcome here. We can rest here for free, which means that we get to replenish our hit points, mana, and stamina. I had spent 1 stamina during our combat, so I go up to full, back to 2. David had got hit by that practice dummy.
So I gained 2 health back.
All right, now we're all refreshed. That feels really good. We can also take the supplies action. So that, if you remember the knapsack that David got from Fades, he can, if it's empty, add 1 marker to it. That marker can be consumed later for 1 stamina. And I can use the apothecary action here at the market, which would get me 1 marker on my cracked flask, which I can drink as an action for 1 hit point. Other towns, so this is the Exiles camp. It's kind of the newbie land. Other towns will charge you for certain things. So this is just as a way to ease you into playing the game. Later on, yeah, you'll need to spend copper K, which is the currency. So we're done with this point of interest. We know it's here. We can come back here and rest, level up later in our journey. So now we're going to go ahead and talk about exploring the world map.
Let's talk about that.
Let's talk about the world map. So I'm going to move the world map front and center here. Should I spin it around for you? Is that probably better, Tess? Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So exploring the world map, and exploring the world map is extremely fun and exciting, and I don't want to take any spoilers away from you. So we're not gonna actually flip any over.
Okay,
So,
that makes sense.
all right. Let's see.
You want to use the Excel
Trying
to
to
show how it works?
Yeah. Sorry, hang on just a second. Causing me to think in my head.
Everybody
I'm
watching-
thinking
everybody
in my
watching,
head.
stay
if you
right
can
where you
believe
are.
it.
Don't move. Don't go
Don't move,
anywhere.
don't move, don't move, don't move. I thought I had changed something in that one. I remember when I explained it last time, there was one thing I was like, oh, I wanted to just explain it this way.
Do you care if you like reveal one tile, like the junction?
I guess we show it in the tutorial, so.
I mean, I think it's like it's
Yeah,
not the
that's-
most
it's
interesting
fine.
one, and it's like
Yeah,
the
there's-
most obvious way to go.
Yeah, it's empty on purpose so that we could show it in the
Yeah.
tutorial. So, okay, so we'll just show that one. Ira, you think that's right?
Derek
Ira
Colt
type-
says, we'll do
Type
something,
one in the
something.
chat.
Ira says yes. Okay.
Thank you, Ira. We got approval. Someone who's thinking clearly, who's operating.
Who's not in the sweat box of an office with no air conditioning.
Okay. After this, we're gonna get Thai food. OSHA. Someone call OSHA.
Don't call OSHA. We have all of our OSHA documentation posted just outside the door.
Northwest D2, place of preservation. It's so hard as soon as it's rolling to remember what
Here,
you're
open the
saying.
door for a minute. It's the lights. It's the lights. Don't look at the lights. Bright lights take up your brains like
Imagine everyone
processing
in their
power.
underwear.
Imagine everyone,
Yeah.
they probably are, and everyone's just sitting at home in their underwear. Sorry, just.
Any hint on the two paths? Yeah, you should.
No,
you should
we're
take.
not.
You should take them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, anytime. Spoiler free.
Spoiler free, we're not answering real questions right now.
Tom Miller says 99.3883%. That's a
Thank
number.
you, Dad.
The number
If that
and a
is-
half.
There's another guy in the
Chat.
another backer who's Thomas M.
Oh.
And at one point he made a comment. I was like, "Thanks, Dad." And then Dad commented below. He's like, "That's not." I was like, "Oh no." So Thomas, if you're watching, I'm so sorry.
We're not in the practice of calling our backers dad, unless they are actually our dads. Yeah, so that's hilarious.
Oh, embarrassing! What a
Looking good.
amateur move. We know it exactly what we want. Congratulations, you've completed the tutorial. Okay. Okay, but we're not going to go too in depth on the travel system and traveling around because we don't want to spoil anything. So we'll just do exactly what's in the tutorial. The two
How much is
short,
left, do you feel like?
2 sets. So like,
The batteries are running low.
okay, we're good, we're done. Thank you, Jess. All right, we're still recording.
Then,
No, I mean we'll. Yes. Good.
yeah, I'm still recording.
Speaking
Alright.
metaphorically.
All right.
Go, start.
So now we're going to look at traveling the overworld. We're just going to explore one hex, so we're not going to spoil anything really. So looking at our current hex, there are 3 terrain icons on it. Those terrain icons mean that we can travel to any of these 3 adjacent hexagons. It also means we cannot travel to these 3 adjacent hexagons because there's no icons leading to them. Very important that you follow the rules there.
Otherwise, just
Otherwise,
part of the game.
Yeah, you'd be like, what am I doing here? So we're gonna take a travel action. To do that, we take our party marker, party token, party marker, sorry. We take our party, which is all of us, and we travel together. And we're going to travel to hex D2. So we're gonna place the party marker here. And looking at this, we're traveling on the road. The road is the easiest terrain to travel on. I know that because I made the game. You'll know that after you play for a little bit. So we take the top card of the travel deck and we flip it over, and we'll get a header which says thick fog, and it says it takes great, I can't read that word. Concentration not to get lost in the mist. And it this card has lots of icons on it. Please don't get overwhelmed. It's very simple. These 7 icons here in the middle are the different kinds of terrain. We're currently traveling on the road terrain, so we don't need to think about any of the other icons there.
Just the road.
Just the road. So step one is the icon that we're traveling on lit up, or is it present? Let's see. Here's another card as an example where the road icon is just an outline. That means that nothing happens when we're traveling on the road. If our icon is active, then what we're going to do is flip over the corresponding travel token. So the road is active. We're looking at the feather travel token, which is here. The feather is inactive. We're going to flip it over to being active now. If you're traveling to a hexagon that is unexplored, that's face down, all these travel tokens also need to be face down. We can spend a stamina per exile to flip the travel tokens back to face down at any time. I feel like I'm not speaking clearly. Is this clear?
There's a couple steps to it, but yeah, you're doing good.
Okay. I feel like I didn't do a great job.
This is.
Can we do it again, maybe?
Yeah.
I want to have this. Okay. Gosh. So hard to.
It's a two-step check. You
Yeah.
check is yours highlighted.
I
and
feel
then
like
you
I shouldn't go into the resetting I shouldn't reset those until, or I shouldn't. Okay.
You should talk about flipping it,
Yeah.
and then what happens if you flip it again.
Yeah.
And then stop right there and be like, and that's how you travel. Now, if you're going there,
Oh yeah.
you can even be like,
that's
if you're going to a new
better.
place, you do need to have all of these flipped
I'm
over.
so much better at writing it and then reading it
Yeah.
and writing it and reading it, and you have so much time to think.
Yeah.
You're gonna be sorry. I know your arms are tired, Tess. Okay.
Go quick.
Okay.
It's not my arms, it's the battery.
So we talked about the icons. Now we'll just talk about traveling.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So at this point now, we're going to take the travel. At this point, we're now going to take the travel action. So to do so, we're going to take our party marker and we're going to place it on this hexagon here. We decided to follow the road. We're going to flip over the top card of the travel deck. You can see that the road icon is present here. So that means that we have to activate the. Jeez, my brain's totally like short circuiting.
Help me, guys. It's too hot. Go walk around outside for a second.
No, but the batteries and the camera stuff.
Quick.
Okay, we'll do it.
Stress.
No, I'm okay. I'm not stressed. I'm just like, okay, trying to think.
Go.
I feel like this is the hardest part for me to explain. So it's like
I don't
such a
know why.
simple sentence.
It's so simple.
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Do you want to do it?
I can do it.
Okay,
Yeah, sure.
why don't you
let
take a
me give it a
shot?
shot. I
That
don't know
would
if
be
it'll be better.
That would be great. Thank you.
All right. So like Cody said, we're going to now take the travel action on the overworld. So the first thing we're going to do is look at where we're going. We have to travel on the direction of an icon, like he said. And so we're going to travel in that direction. It is the road icon. We're going to flip over our card. If the road icon is highlighted, then something has happened. If the road icon is not highlighted, then we're done. So since the road icon is highlighted, we're going to look down here at the symbol painted on the bottom. It's all symbols, easy to learn. We're going to flip over our feather symbol, just like it shows. And then we're going to be done with our travel action. Now, if we...
After we would flip over that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we would flip over the tile. We now have this revealed.
And now the travel action is.
But now the travel action is complete. I can do that again. Is that good? Is that all you
Yeah,
want? Do you want me to talk
really
about
good.
flipping over
No,
this again?
That's so much better. Thank you.
Okay.
But yeah, so
Let me do one more take.
that would be great.
Okay.
We got it. We got it.
I got it.
The battery. Okay.
Wait.
Stopping.
Yeah.
We're recording. Oh man, we were so close, Tess. Sorry.
Well, I guess we can keep going.
Oh, I stopped it.
Okay. Oh, okay, great. It's like-
Yeah. Sorry. It's okay. Travel token. Travel token. Travel token.
We can just
I
leave
will
that whole
hold the
thing
camera.
here and start to backwards too. And do it another day. We have
I
to-
really want to get it.
Okay.
Well, what do we got? We've got so much
I
time.
just really failed on it. Because my camera was here.
Whoa. Travel token, travel token, travel token. All right. Okay. All right. Good work, David.
All right, we're all charged.
You got it. You got it. Well,
Do you hit record again?
okay. Flip that over. Yes, thank you.
Cool.
All right. Hitting record here. Audio is recording. Do you want to tap the mic? Put it here. That's fine. All right. 1, 2. Okay. Make sure that we're getting all our recordings. Yep, we're good.
All right. So like Cody has said, we're traveling on the overworld now. We have chosen our path, which is the road. We are going to first move our travel token to the tile we want to go to. We're going to flip over a travel card. And there's really only 2 things we're looking at on this card. The first one is this road icon activated? If it was grayed out, then you're done. You've completed your travel action. You can move to the selected tile. Since it is highlighted, we then go and trigger this token that we have, the blue feather. That gets flipped over. And we've now completed our travel action. We will flip over our new tile. And we are now at our new location.
Yeah.
Do you want to travel again?
Right. So we're not going to travel again, but we'll talk a little bit about what would happen. So if we wanted to continue traveling to an unexplored hex, we first need to check that all the travel tokens are face down. To do so, we would spend a stamina. Each character would spend 1 stamina, and we get to refresh these. So now they're all face down, and we can travel again to an unexplored location. If it's an already explored location, it's a little bit of a press your luck mechanic. We can, press your luck mechanic. We can keep flipping cards and activating tokens, but if we flip a card that activates the same token that's already active, then something bad happens. We're going to take a card out of the index, which is the exhausted card. I don't know if we have it already.
It probably is not in there yet.
Sorry, our
Threat cards. There you go. That's it, right?
Almost, no. Hang on.
Which will be
There we go.
indicated in the rules.
Yeah, this is all in the rules. So you would take threat 90, which says exhausted, and you're going to shuffle that into the threat deck, which is the combat deck. So you're getting exhausted up here on the world map, but later on in the game, at some point, that card's going to come back, and
You have to deal with it.
You have to deal with it.
You've put yourself in a place where you're exhausted, and it's going to come back when you need it most.
Yes, yeah. So exploring the world map, there's a little bit of a press your luck. You can do things like eating food to get yourself more stamina that will refresh your travel token so you can travel further. But the general idea is that you're traveling from town, out exploring, back to town, and there's sort of a loop there. So that's the end of the tutorial. And thank you guys so much. And
so much.
if you guys like this, then hit that subscribe button and
Subscribe
follow
to
us on social media,
right.
Bar Off Games. A big shout out to Tess for holding the camera and doing all the work.
Let us know if you have any questions in the comments.
Yeah, let us know, and maybe we'll do another one. All right, thank you. Bye. Oh my goodness.
Your arm.
Tess.
I bet.
And
It's like
MVP.
20 pounds.
All right, stop recording. Stop recording. Are you sure you want to stop?
You
Yeah.
need to just like in your days, just need to be doing this just all day long.
Jiminy Christmas. All right, let's see.
Oh no, the lens cap was on that entire time. Oh no.
What do you mean?
You did a really good job.
Thanks.
Did
It does not
find
feel
yourself
like it. It feels
planning
like it was in tatters, but
to
it's okay.
devastatingly dispatch
I
your
think
enemies?
once you edit it, it'll feel
Yeah,
less
yeah.
hectic. It's just been hectic
Yes.
here.
Maybe we shouldn't do the live stream. So
Tess
let's,
did a great
can we
job.
cancel it? So just delete all that, right?
Delete everything.
It's okay. You guys are gonna see us in the raw. We're just having fun. thank you for joining us. Super fun to have you guys along for the journey. I'm excited. We're gonna eat some food.
What if it gets funded? Are you gonna keep doing the live stream?
We need to.
Well,
We
yeah,
need to
yeah,
keep streaming
we'll-
until we fund. Come on,
Put the live
Cody.
stream back on.
Yeah.
I feel like, or just, do you guys want us to just leave it on even if we went to
Yeah.
lunch? I don't know what we would do.
We just come in here and eat our lunch.
Just keep streaming. Thank you, Ira. Get your food in the room on the table, on our nice table. Yeah, we can put the leaves in the table.
We could stop it and then come back right at 19 or something.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
probably
you
better.
would definitely need to have.
I feel like if we just leave it running and we're like,
You just want to make sure that
that's probably
everyone's
not the
out
best.
here.
You gotta be watching. We should have someone watching it maybe.
could we set up? I guess we could set the live stream up in like the living room or something.
You could do that too. It's nice because it's just like everything's in here. It's like people who come in here know they're
That's true.
in the other room.
That's
Just
true.
people walking.
Yeah.
Since on there, they said that I should have a red for my camera. I
Yeah,
don't know
that's
what
like
that
the
is.
harness thing.
Oh yeah, where
That's
you're wearing the full like.
It's like a belt and a
Buckling
chest
it on
piece, and
and
it like
stuff.
just sits in front of you. That's the next thing. David, quick.
Really heavy.
Run
Hey,
some-
Aaron.
Hey, I don't know if you.
You're live with all of us. Yes.
Oh,
Do you want to be live or not live?
Not live.
Okay.
Probably better.
A rig would be nice.
A rig would be nice.
Cody Dad wants chicken.
Tom Miller. Well, that's the vote on where to go to eat.
Do you want
Oh no, we have to do more.
hanging out? Sure. I mean, I think we're just gonna go to lunch. I just was trying to think, should we keep?
I think
Stay
you should just
going
keep
or-
it going. That way, if once it funds.
The empty office can celebrate.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Okay. Great idea. We'll put a little sign. Okay, and Ira will stay on chat. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Ira. Do you want me to put you picture in picture on there while we're at lunch? Or we can have it set up. Yeah, and now that we're done shooting, we can put it back into OBS Studio and have it. Okay, we're gonna tear down the thing, and then if you want to send me that Zoom link.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Chicken yakisoba, you got it, Pops. All right, I'll let you know when I've got it going. Okay, bye. All right, so chicken yakisoba says Dad.
Are we getting to it?
Are we doing lunch orders in the chat? I mean, for my family who's coming over for lunch, yes.
Does anyone live in Lincoln City?
Don't.
No.
Did you know that the dice was Twitter?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, it's start over.
Oh no. Start over.
It's like a PS5 account took it over or something. Yeah, they lost
What?
all their followers. They had like 60,000
That's
followers.
terrible.
Dang.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Leon says 3.5K. Oh man.
I feel like we should not leave.
No, we're not bumping the camera, Leon.
Don't bump the camera.
It's getting
All right, so
Covers
we're
it.
gonna stop the stream.
Yeah, that's fine.
I know, but I was gonna put it back onto this computer so we can have OBS
Oh,
Studio and
yeah.
so much better. Okay, so we're gonna stop the stream. We'll bring it back on and we'll hang out until we're funded. So we're gonna stop the stream for a bit. Do you wanna? I don't know what we're doing with your. I don't want to touch.
You
your
just have to
computer.
declare it stopped.
Oh, computer stop stream.
Someone says every time someone ups their pledge, we bump the camera a little bit. See if it happens. That's not a bad idea. All right. See y'all later.